to you live from the Elliott Avenue Studios. This is The Barbershop. Brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail, the official auto detail provider of the Seattle Seahawks. And by the Trufant Family Foundation, an organization aimed at improving the community one kid at a time. With Marcus Trufant, here's T. Holla.
What's up? And welcome to The Barbershop Show here on Sports Radio 950 KJR. It's your man T. Holla.
And yes, it is Marcus Trufant.
Oh, you gonna change up your name on us today? You went from True to Trufant to
French.
So now that's the French version.
Yeah, that's the French version. You know what I'm saying? When you say it with that twang on it,
You just gotta put a little.
it makes it a little different.
We want to thank everybody for joining us here on this beautiful Wednesday night here in Seattle, or whether you are joining us from anywhere around the world on the iHeartRadio app. It is our honor and pleasure to hang out with you guys until 8 o'clock tonight, bringing you everything that we find fitting to talk about. True, man, it's been, I got to be honest, man, it's been a hell of a 7 days. But before we get into that, man, how are you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. You know, I'm always on the run, doing this, doing that, 5 kids, a wife, trying to move, trying to keep it all together, man. It's hectic, but, hey, man, I'm in the shop, man. I get to kick back. I get to chill a little bit.
Yes, but I got to be honest with you, man. It has been, for me, a hectic hell of a 7 days. It's been a hectic couple of weeks. It's been a hectic month, really, to tell you the truth, man. And I'll be honest with you, man. There's a lot of bad things happening in the world around us these days, and it's gotten really tough on me. It got to the point where I actually had to shut down my social media for a while just to get away, to block all the noise that's out there. I know a couple of you guys out there listening to probably feel what I'm talking about, man. And, you know, we've had the NFL national anthem protests. We've had the people that have wanted to protest the protests. And then we had the people who wanted to protest the protesters that are protesting. And it just got to be too much, True. And it's just so much bad news. And we got to the point, True, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to break some news to you tonight, man, some things that you did not know.
Okay.
I had a plan for the show tonight,
Okay.
you know, because I was feeling in such a way. I had a plan, and I wasn't even going to tell you. I was going to make a lot of people mad. I was going to unleash my feelings of pain and hurt on the show tonight by doing something that probably would have got us in a lot of trouble.
What was that, T?
I'm not even going to say what it was because I'm not going to do it.
All right.
I'm not going to do it anymore. I've changed my mind. I have had a revelation, and I have decided to change paths. Because you know why?
Why is that?
Because I know what today is.
What's that?
Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody?
It's hump day, True. That means we're a little bit closer to Friday. That means we're a little bit closer to having a good weekend. And today is my birthday. It's my birthday, man. So I wanted to bring some good vibes to the entire world, True.
I like it, man.
So you know what it is.
Yeah, let's kick it, Nate. Hey, here we go, just the T. Holla, but you know how we do it in the Afro-centric type of households. We don't sing the traditional birthday. We do that, and you know nobody else knows the rest of the song. They just know this chorus, right?
That's it, man.
I know for me in my house, that's all we sing. You know what I'm saying? Then we kind of just fade out at the end. Happy birthday to you. But happy birthday, T, man.
Oh, man, thank you, brother. And that's kind of the feeling I wanted to bring tonight. If you're not here, if you came tonight to get some hardcore facts, some statistics, and all that boring stuff, you're not going to get it tonight because we're here to bring some joy to the world. We bring some happiness. True started off by bringing us that Stevie Wonder rendition
I
of
got
Happy
some
Birthday.
more joy from True.
Yeah. Give him
Oh, y'all.
That's what they said you wanted, T. I checked with the shop,
check-
and they told me to put that in there because that's what you really wanted,
That's
right?
what I really want. Y'all know me so well, man. Y'all know me so well. Hopefully, no, I got family.
Unfortunately,
listening.
it doesn't come with one. Sorry,
good.
it's just a soundbite.
Well, that's good. That's good. I don't want to cause too much trouble. Like I
Yeah,
said. I
and
gotta
you know
go
we
home
joking.
tonight.
That's what them other people want. So I just want to throw that in as a joke. I know that ain't really
A key
what you
heat.
want.
A key heat. Yeah, that's not what I want. You're right.
Sorry, Heather. Sorry, Heather. But I put that out there.
Yeah, we definitely gonna have a good time tonight, man. Have some fun, and yeah, not too serious at all. True. I gotta ask you about this guy, man, because over the course of the time that we've been doing the Barbershop Show, and this family has been at the forefront of basketball, whether it be college and then the professional ranks and even in the high school ranks. Talking about your man, LeVar Ball.
Sign me up.
You have been a fan of LeVar Ball from the beginning.
Team ball.
Team Ball.
Yeah.
You wanted to get the barbershop sponsored by Team Ball.
Absolutely.
But I've had, you and I have butted heads on this issue, man. You are a guy that is supportive of him because he's very active in his kid's life. Very active. And I agree with that. That's good for a father to be involved in his kid's life. But he's been very proactive, let's say, in his kids' professional lives. And he's really out in the front of his first son, who was already in the NBA. Now.
Right.
Now he's getting involved in his other son, LaMelo, who is just a junior in high school. And recently, this past week, LeVar Ball actually took LaMelo out of high school, removed him and said he's not going to his high school in Chino Hills in Southern California anymore because he has a beef with the coach. The coach is not going to run the team the way LeVar wants to run it, True. So I want to ask you straight up. So now LeVar is taking his son LaMelo out of high school, going to homeschool him. He's going to put him through his own training program. And now LaMelo is already committed to going to UCLA 2 years from now.
Okay.
Do you still agree with LeVar Ball and his actions and his antics and the things that he does? Because he's been labeled today as the worst father in sports ever.
Come on, man.
That's just what I read. That's just what I read.
Well, I'll say this, T. It seems unconventional and it may sound kind of crazy, and you're like, what is this guy doing? But this man hasn't been wrong yet. So
what do you mean wrong yet?
Wrong.
His son has barely gotten into the NBA, so we don't know how
his son barely got into the NBA.
I mean, he hasn't played. He hasn't played in the official game. He's
exactly.
No, you can't say he's
stud.
Wait a minute now. You can't label him a stud.
I know
I'm
you
not
can't
going to crown him.
but this man got drafted. What? 2 or 1?
It was 2.
2.
But it doesn't matter. So
it matters.
Okay,
the
listen.
team that his father predicted. You got to keep that in mind
Let's
too.
back that.
Magic 8 Ball. So he is. Yeah.
Let's talk LaMelo.
The 8 Ball.
Let's talk LaMelo.
Okay.
His son has been removed from his high school.
Right.
He's not going to play high school basketball any longer.
Right.
He's not even going to go to high school.
Right.
How does this project for him in his future? How does he go to UCLA? First of all, number one, how do you go to college when you didn't even finish high school? Been homeschooled. You went to college. You went to Wazoo.
Right. Yes, I did.
You were socialized and normalized in Tacoma at Wilson High School.
Right.
You had friends. I assume you probably had a girlfriend. You probably, hung out.
Friends. Yeah. Right. But I would tread lightly on that, T, because I used to think that too now, right? That homeschool kids may be, socially awkward and this kind of stuff, but I don't really think there's any real proof of that. So I think what you got Mr. Ballhill doing, it's a business move. And what's different from doing this than going, going to an extra year of high school and going to prep school and doing all that kind of different stuff that these basketball players are doing. So
because you get to be in school with girls and hanging out, going to dances and being normal, like a normal kid.
Hey, man, it's about that triple B, baby. And they getting the money, getting paid and getting to the top, man. That's what it's about. So I cannot fault the father for trying to make it happen.
I guess so, man. Listen,
sound like you hating, T.
I'm not hating.
So
I just think I'm looking out for the kid. I'm looking out for the kid's welfare, man. True. It remains to be seen what's going to happen. We'll look forward to it. Keep our eyes on the ball. See what happens with little LaMelo. Hey, listen, there's something else that happened this past week, True, and I don't know if you saw it, but it basically set black social media on fire, and it is my man Shannon Sharp. Basically, Shannon Sharp has been very outspoken and very articulate and very, on point on so many different issues over the past couple of years. He's on his new show, Undisputed, with Skip Bayless.
Right.
And, he's, when it comes to the whole national anthem protest, he's been very vocal. And if you listen to him, he's very sharp, very articulate, very well-versed on a number of different, very important issues. And he's very serious about it. On the flip side of that, he also has a little bit of hood in him. And the hood came out this past Monday on his show, Undisputed.
You can enjoy me with a victory cigar?
You smoke cigars?
You're calling Black and Mild cigars
I'll be on
now?
the miles. I'll be on the miles with that yank hard yesterday, Skip.
Shannon, This is very off-brand.
Hold on, Joey.
I'm just going to say.
First of all,
tell you that.
if your team did not score a point yesterday, please do not touch the victory cigar.
I think by not smoking the Black and Wilds,
Where
we're
did
actually
you buy
winning.
those at Rite Aid?
Hold on. First of all, Skip, why you be on me on these miles? Because I be on these miles and hen dog, and now y'all got problems with me. Let me celebrate.
Let the man celebrate.
Let him celebrate. For those who don't know and may not be familiar with the urban culture, he was on the set of his nationally syndicated show, Smoking a Black and Mild. Now, a Black and Mild, can you describe to the listeners who may not know?
A Black and Mild, I didn't even know those really still existed. That's kind of an old school kind of
it's kind of OG. Go and say it. It's hood. It's hood. It's ghetto.
It's you got your cigarettes and then you got Black and Milds. I feel like the Black and Milds is a step under the cigarette. It's almost like that instant death. If you smoking that, it's like you definitely trying to kill your lungs. Right.
But when you visualize somebody smoking a Black and Mild, for those of you again who don't know, and for those of you who do know, you can visualize it with me. You smoking a Black and Mild. It's a baby little cigar with a filter on it, and it's usually smoked by somebody. They probably have a do-rag on their head, and they're probably like in a old Cutlass or a Regal, something real long. It has to probably be at least 18 to 20 foot long car with the seat laid all the way back. And like he said, he was drinking some yak.
Yak. You got to explain what yak is exactly.
Yes. So you guys understand, yak is short for cognac, good grapes. And it's a fine, African-American men love to drink their cognac.
The finest of liquors, huh?
And smoke their Black and Mild. So I want to give a shout out to Shannon Sharp for doing that on national TV, talking about drinking his Hennessy, his yak, and smoking his Black and Mild. But I want to tell you this before we go to commercial, man. Something about our culture, man. When the world feeds us lemons, we make lemonade.
Grapes.
We make lemonade. When the world feeds us grapes, you know what we make? Grape Aid, baby. We make Grape Aid. So tonight, I'm going to play for you guys for the first time anywhere in the world on radio, the Grape Aid that was made from Shannon Sharp and his Black and Mild episode on Undisputed. The first time anywhere in the world, Shannon Sharp's remix of Mild and Yak.
I be on the miles with that yak hard yesterday, Skip. I be on these miles with hen dog, and now y'all got problems with me. Let me celebrate. I be on the miles with that yak. Miles with that yak. Miles with that yak. I'm on these miles with that hen dog. Miles with that yak. 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 You talking crazy. You need to quit, Skip. You need to quit, Skip. You need to quit. Let me celebrate. Talking crazy. You need to quit, Skip. You need to quit, Skip. If a frog had pockets, he would carry a knife. Stab the snake before it ate it. If a frog had pockets, he would carry a knife. Stab the snake.
Hey.
I hope you guys realize you probably just broke someone's sub in their car.
I was hoping to do
Hey,
that.
man, that thing was slapping.
It
though.
is
It was slapping.
Tonight,
I had to turn my volume down a little bit.
Hey, tonight, you hear it here first. It is the T Holla birthday extravaganza, and it's also the Miles and Yak show. We all about the Miles and Yak. We're going to make sure y'all have fun tonight. If you don't have it right now, run to the store because the commercial is coming up. Get yourself a pack of Miles. It's going to cost you maybe $3 or $4. You're going to get 17 cigars and a bottle of Yak. Well, I don't care what it is, Hennessy, VSOP, and come back and enjoy the rest of the Barbershop show with us. When we come back, we're going to be talking Huskies and Cougars. It's the Barbershop show with T and True.
From the Bartell Drugs Traffic Center in Renton, watch for a collision on the southbound 405 off-ramp to 167. It's partially blocking. A crash in Marysville is off to the shoulder. A car veered way off the roadway north on I-5, just north of State Route 528. And it's still really difficult north on I-5 in spots between the U District and Mount Lake Terrace. This support brought to you by Sound Transit. Good news if you live in the South Side and take the Sounder train. Sound Transit has added new mid-morning and afternoon Sounder service. Trains run every 20 minutes during rush hour, and there's more room on board. For more up-to-the-minute traffic updates, download the new Total Traffic app powered by Traffic Karma. It's Kimmy Klein for Sports Radio 950 KJR Traffic.
Hey, it's T. Holla. And when I'm not hanging out with you guys here in the barbershop, I'm sitting in an office at my family's financial services company. Sometimes that office space needs some fixing up, and whether that be a new door or a wall, or even if we need a brand new office built, we call EBI. Ellsworth Builders Incorporated is a local construction company that specializes in commercial tenant improvement. Since 1991, EBI has been serving retail outlets, restaurants, auto detail companies.
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show here on Sports Radio 950 KJR. It's T. Holla and True on a beautiful Wednesday night here in Seattle. We're going to be hanging out with you guys till 8 o'clock. Thanks for hanging out with us on my birthday extravaganza. It's not even, I don't even want to just claim it all to myself, True.
Right.
I want to call it the Mild and Yak extravaganza. If you guys missed the opening of the show, we had a clip of my new hero, Shannon Sharp, who came on national TV last week on his show, Undisputed, and he talked about drinking yak, cognac.
While being on them miles.
While being on them miles, smoking Black and Mild cigars that you get from the corner store, the gas station. You buy them you can buy them one at a time. You can buy them in a pack. But it's real hood. And I'm just so impressed by Shannon's ability.
I be on the miles. I be on the miles with that yak hard yesterday, Skip.
You see how he just traversed from being so professional and so eloquent on so many diverse topics to going back to smoking miles.
Hey.
So it's my birthday. But Shannon Sharp can do it like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Feel like you need to be on them miles today too, T. It's your birthday. Miles and yak. I meant to. That's what I forgot. I had the miles and that yak in the car.
I be on the miles. I be on the miles with that yak hard yesterday.
You know what? We got a funny story from one of our listeners, man. Alan is calling in from Olympia. Alan is an ex. He was in the service. I want to say, first of all, thank you for your service, man. But he has a funny story about Black and Miles, apparently. So, Alan, are you there?
I am. Happy birthday, T.
Appreciate it, man. Hey, thanks for calling in.
I
And
got my birthday next week.
Well,
October 22nd. Us Libras got to stick together.
You know we do. You better get yourself some miles and some yaks, man. What's your story about Black and Miles?
So check this. I just went in the Marine Corps the year 2000, and I'm in my MOS training in 29 Palms, California. And my friend Mike introduces me to Black and Miles, first time ever. And he's like, man, you ever freak a black?
Oh.
And so we take out the cancer paper, repack it, and he hit twice as hard on that, tobacco.
Hey, hold on, Alan. Before you go any further, we have to tell the people, when they say when you freak the black, it's when you take the cigar and you dump all the tobacco out of it, and you remove the paper that they say causes cancer, and stuff the tobacco back in, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
sir.
So you freaked the black, and then what happened?
Well, you basically repack that. It's a very delicate process because a lot of fellows will mess that up, and before you know it, you've ruined the whole Black and Mild. You got to start all over again.
Oh, hell no.
Down to a science. It's a science.
All right. So that was it? You freaked it, and you were all good after that?
Man, you take a few hits. Most people are good after one or two hits because without that cancer paper, man, that is very dangerous.
Yes, it is. Alan from the Marine Corps, man. I appreciate your call, man. Make sure you stay listening to the Barbershop, brother.
God bless you, man.
God bless you too, man. Alan
Freak the black.
I be on the miles. I be on the miles with that yak hard yesterday, Skip.
Yaks. Hey, we got to talking about the miles and blacks. So tough, man. That
I know. Two segments up.
Who cares, man? We got to. I mean, tonight is the night we're gonna have some fun,
and it's
man.
your birthday, too.
It's my birthday. We're gonna do how I like it, man. But
all I want for my birthday.
Hey. Get him, Nathaniel.
Yes. Hey, listen, man. I know we only going to have like 2 minutes, man, but I just got to be honest with you about this subject when we talking about Huskies and Cougars. I did something again this past weekend that I have never done in all my history of Huskydom. 2 weeks ago, I told you that I turned the game off because they were stomping a mud hole
Right.
in Colorado.
Mhm.
It got boring. This Friday, it had nothing to do with the Huskies, but I watched a Cougar game from the beginning until the end, True.
There you go, T. You came over to the good guys.
I don't know about all that. I still feel icky about the situation, man. But the way that you Cougars, freaked USC was pretty incredible. Not only did I watch it, it got to be kind of late on Friday night when the game was still going on. I got in my car and turned it on satellite radio just to listen to the Cougar game. I might get in trouble. I might get my Husky pass revoked for a couple weeks for saying this. But you guys balled out, man.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing, man. These Cougs is flying high, man. They doing their thing on all levels. You know, I think the thing I've been waiting for from the Cougars is for the defense to show up. Every week, everybody always talks about all the yards and stuff that the Cougars putting up, but the defense is showing up, and even the running game is showing up. So the Cougars are becoming a well-rounded team, and they're making some noise against some of the big boys. They got an undersized D-line. They got a fast D-line. They got a fast offense, but the defense is moving around fast, man. And what I want to do is I don't want – or the thing I would like to see happen is that we don't just sit on this win and just ride with this. We keep riding. And
You're going to Oregon next week, and it's always tough.
I think we should be okay in Oregon, and I'm not jumping the gun, but I think we're going to go down, and I think we're going to take care of business.
Okay. Again, I watched the guys. They were very athletic. This is the first time I've watched, again, the Cougars play a complete game, and they looked good. They look athletic, and I'll go on record and say this. I think the best football in the Pac-12 right now is being played in the state of Washington, hands down. And I think that bodes well, not just for this season. I think that bodes well for the future of the state of Washington when it comes to keeping the best talent in this state, and not letting them go out to other places like Oregon and USC and across the country. We're going to keep the best players in the state if we continue on this path, and we'll be able to attract the other players from other states as well. So that being said, True, I want to ask you this question, ask our listeners the same question. Text us in here at 49451. Let me know what you think. Is it too early to start trash talk about the Apple Cup? Is it too early, listeners? 49451, let us know. Can we start? Because I'm feeling I got the itch.
I think so. I think it's too early, T. And I heard this on Softy's show earlier that he's wondering why Husky fans or Washingtonians are rooting for the Cougs, even against Oregon. Yeah. And a lot of people are saying because they want the stakes to be high in the Apple Cup. They want, of course, the Cougs to be as good as they can so the Huskies can knock them off, of course. Yeah. But I think it's a little too early, man. I still want it to play out. I want it to play out for you guys, too. I know you guys are a great team, but I want us to both be sitting very well and come that Apple Cup. I want that Apple Cup to mean something. And I just think it's a little premature, T. I don't want to be too early, man.
Well, maybe I'll be premature for both of us. I'll just start, and then you can just
for both of us.
You just chime in when you want to. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here in the Barbershop. It is the birthday extravaganza, really the Miles and Yak extravaganza. We talk about.
I be on the miles with that yak hard yesterday, Skip. I be on the miles.
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, dog, and now y'all got problems with
when we come back, we're going to talk about the Seahawks. You guys ready to hear about them Seahawks with Marcus and I think? Stay tuned. We're going to be on that Miles and then Yaks.
I got a question, Seattle. What could be better than football and barbecue? That's right, nothing. And if you want the best barbecue in the northwestern part of these here United States, then you need to get on down to Carolina Smoke Barbecue in Boston. Located in Country Village, Carolina Smoke has the most succulent smoked brisket, fall off the bone ribs, and mouth-watering tri-tip, and so much more. Come on down and see us today at Carolina Smoke Barbecue, 23806 Bothell Everett House. That's 23806 Bothell Everett.
I tell all my rake it up. Break it
now
down.
back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
I be on these miles of hen dog, and now y'all got problems with me. Let me celebrate.
Break it down. Back it up.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show here on Sports Radio 950 KJR. It's T. Holla and Marcus Trufant, and it is the Miles and Yak birthday extravaganza. Tonight we on the Miles and them Yaks, and if you guys missed the first half of the show, shame on you. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should tune in and know to be here at 6:30 sharp.
I'll be on the Miles. I'll be on the Miles with that Yak hard yesterday, Skip.
So you can catch when we talk about Shannon Sharp, who is my new hero for being on national TV with a Black and Mild cigar. Which
in his mouth. Yeah.
On the air, which is so hood. Which is so hood.
Have you seen the pictures of him with like a I think it's sunglasses on?
Yeah.
There's so many edits of him now with that Black and Mild.
There is. And you know what? One of the things that I wanted to do tonight as we hold on, before we go for any further, I got to play the song again. I told you we are debuting one of the number one hit. I predict this is going to be a number one hit song in America. It's the Shannon Sharp remix of Miles and Yaks, and you're only going to hear it here exclusively in the barbershop.
That Yak hard yesterday, Skip. I be on these Miles and Hen Dog, and now y'all got problems with me. Let me celebrate. I be on the Miles. Miles with that Yak. Miles with that Yak. Miles with that Yak. I'm on these Miles and Hen Dog. Miles with that Yak. 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 Miles with that Yak.
Hey.
True. Here we go.
You talking crazy. You need to quit, Skip. You need to quit, Skip. You need to quit. Talking crazy. You need to quit, Skip.
I got to stop before we tear somebody's speaker up.
Someone's speakers
I got to tear somebody's speaker up, man.
All around the city, baby. Turn them up, though. Turn them up.
But one of the reasons, when I heard this song, I'll be honest with you guys, I was bumping this song all day long. It was in my car, tearing my speakers up. And it just really inspired me, man. Like I said, because I'm just so impressed with the way that Shannon Sharp is able to speak so eloquently on so many very serious topics. And he's so well-versed and knowledgeable on so many things. And yet he could flip the script. And
I'll be on the Miles.
And get the
I'll
Miles.
be on the Miles with that Yak
and it reminds me of myself somewhat, True.
Okay.
You know, because sometimes, I feel like I can carry a conversation with the best of them.
Right.
The most scholarly, educated people on so many different subjects and topics. And yet, I like my good grapes. I like the Yak.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the Black and Mild. So tonight,
there's one more thing you like, too.
What's that?
Hey.
Bow. So tonight, I brought a bottle of Hennessy Yak for us to celebrate, True. So I brought the Yak, and guess what else I got?
The Miles.
I'll be on the Miles. I'll be on the Miles with that Yak hard yesterday, Skip. I'll be on the Miles.
Hey, can we get a
I'll be
picture
on the Miles with that Yak hard yesterday,
on
Skip.
the Miles.
There you go, brother. So we're going to smoke Miles and drink some Hennessy tonight as we do the Barbershop show. And we are going to talk about these Seahawks, these Seahawks right now, True. I know you got a chance to watch the game. You down there this weekend checking them out, man. Once again, it is a tale of two halves with this team, man. They start off the game absolutely incredibly slow, like they are in molasses, man. It is almost it's the most frustrating thing to watch as a fan, as someone who's been watching this team for a couple of years. It's their MO. My question, True, is when you watch the way that they're unable to move the ball at all on offense in the first half, and the defense is doing their thing, trying to hold on. Is this what we have to come to accept, that this is the team? This is what they do?
T, it's hard to, of course, it's hard to put your finger on it, man. And like you said, I was there watching the game, man. And I'll tell you about some of these suites in the stadium, man. If you ever get a
you gonna
chance,
sweet us, huh?
If you ever get a chance to sit on that field level suite, man, it is really an awesome view. It feels like you're playing in a video game. You're up so close, and it just feels like you're really in the game, man. It's a real good look. So I was there close, and I was just seeing it, man. It just wasn't happening. And what I don't know, the Hawks, I feel like they need to have that go-to guy, man, that they need to have that guy that they just feed. And I feel like it should be Doug Fresh. I feel like it should be Doug Baldwin.
Doug is he's their top receiver.
Yeah,
absolutely. But it's tough. It seems like it's hard to get him going in the game.
That's what I'm saying. I just want him to, man, just keep going. And and not so much force feeding because they got some other weapons too. I like Paul Richardson. I like what he does, man. Of course, he can open it up. And of course, they got Russell Wilson. But it's just something, man. It's like they go and go and go, and then they stumble a little bit. And then they go and go and go, and then they stumble. It's a 3 and out here, 3 and out there. But it's I feel like it can come together, man. I see the potential, and I know you can't win games off of potential, but it's just one small thing. And I think as soon as they get that, I think this Hawk team is going to get back to being the Hawks that we're used to seeing.
Here, Truth. I want you to take a glass of these good grapes, by the way.
Okay.
This is Hennessy Privilege. This is Hennessy Privilege yak. This is not regular yak. I want you to make sure you get some of that with your black and mild. To get back to these Seahawks, man. Like I said, it just looked like their feet are in the mud in the first half of every game that we watched them play. And not only is it bad on my heart, but I don't think this team, functions very well coming from behind. I think they're built to play from ahead. And if you watch them in the second half, that's exactly what happened. They got ahead of the Indianapolis Colts, who, by the way, are not a very good team. They're down a quarterback in Andrew Luck. And, Jacoby Brissett did his best job in holding the thing together. But it's just they don't have enough weapons to be a very good team at this time. But you watch that team in the third quarter, man. The Seahawks got the ball, and they were driving down the field. They were down 15-10. And there was one particular play, True, that I say if this play did not happen, I don't know if the outcome of the game it doesn't turn out differently. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of reasons why I say that. And I'm going to play it for you real quick.
Let's go, man.
And I know it's tough to get a visual of what happened there right after that. I'm going to tell you that is the touchdown where Russell Wilson scampered for 23 yards and got banged up in the end zone at the goal line, and he reached over and scored an amazing touchdown. To me, it was the epitome of what Russell Wilson is when he's at his best. He's scrambling, making things happen, and he was a tough SOB right at the goal line. He took a powerful hit and still reached across the goal line. And the reason I say that thing changed the outcome of that game, and possibly if the rest of the team does what I think, it will change the outcome of the rest of the season, because Russell Wilson, not only did he score that ball, he scored and cussed.
What?
I don't know if you listen. I want you to listen real close.
No, wait. T, you got to run that back, man.
Listen real close. It went blank. Blank, yeah. Oh. He said F, yeah. And so that, you see the team rally around him. I want you to speak to that. When there's a guy on the team that doesn't normally get outside of the pocket,
right,
that normally doesn't cut up, doesn't act out, he's a straight-laced guy,
right,
and you see him get fired up like that, what does that do to you as a professional?
I think that does a lot for the team. I think that does a lot for the stadium. I think that's doing a little bit for everybody. I could speak to that, T, of course, because I was that guy, man.
Right.
I'm chill, man. I'm mild-mannered, but, every now and then you feel it. You just feel it, and you get hype. You celebrate a little bit. You kind of get out of your character, and you really can't control it, man. The game is just taking over you, man. You're just riding off emotion. So I think that did a lot for the team, man. Offense, defense, special teams, the coaches, the stadium, everything. I think that brought some energy to the game.
It brought a lot of energy to the game, man. And you look at the way that team produced in the second half. It looked like a completely different team. In the first half, you could see the entire. I felt like the stadium had the air sucked out of it. True. I felt like the fans collectively around the city and around the state and around the country looked at this team like, geez. At the end of the first half, Russell Wilson orchestrates a drive like they always do in the 2-minute drill, and they race down the field. And it looks like, okay, this is par for the course. They run the 2-minute drill. That's when they're very successful. They get down inside the red zone, and our kicker, Blair Walsh, banks it off the upright, and they got to go into the locker room with no points.
Yeah.
And so it seemed like a depressing thing. Again, Russell comes out in the second half, makes that play, and it's all downhill from that point. One day, eventually, they're going to put it all together and piece it together and make a full game out of this thing. And hopefully they'll be able to do that this week.
T, I can say one thing, though, man. I don't want the people out there to think that we're coming down on these Hawks, because I actually think I say this from time to time, that we're spoiled as a city, as Hawk fans. We want to see the high flying. We want to see the interceptions, the turnovers on defense. We want to see big touchdowns. We want to see big runs, and it's not going to be that all the time. These Hawks aren't playing terrible ball, but it's just not exactly what we're used to, and it's a different team. So we got to ride with it, man. We got to ride through this thing. And like I said earlier, I think it's a couple small things here and there, and I think we'd be all right, man. We're going to be right back.
So they got to go to L.A. this week.
Right.
And historically, the Seahawks have had trouble with the Rams regardless. You talked about it before.
Right.
Ever since your days of playing down when you were in St. Louis.
Right.
It was always kind of weird, right? When you
Terrible stadium, yeah.
It was eerie.
Quiet, cold, and kind of ghostly.
Right.
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
I don't think it's going to be cold in Southern California this weekend, but it'll probably be kind of ghostly. They've had trouble filling the stadium. They've had trouble getting fans out. But this L.A. team is one of the best teams in the National Football League right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the L.A. Rams of old. This is not the St. Louis Rams of old.
Right.
These guys are good. Jared Goff is not a rookie quarterback anymore. He's the guy that's out there slinging it around very well and very efficiently, if you would ask me. And you can ask me because he's on my fantasy team, man. He loaded me up with points last week. But he's doing his thing. And Todd Gurley, he's not the Todd Gurley that was last year. Obviously, when the Seahawks would see him last year, he was a little bit banged up. But he is out there doing his thing, and that defensive line is out of control. So what team shows up this weekend versus the LA Rams? That's what I want to know. I want to know that from you guys out there too as well. 49451, what team shows up to play the Rams this weekend? Do they come out of LA with a victory? Is it possible? Is this LA Rams team too good for the Seahawks as they stand today? I mean, and I'm not trying to beat them up. I'm just trying to be realistic.
I think they got to come out nasty, man. I think they got to come out fighting, and they got to come out with a little chip on their shoulder, if that's what it takes, man. I'm not advocating for fights and violence and such, but you got to come out. You got to have a little something to you, and I think that will get us going, kind of just like you said about Russell Wilson and the touchdown, how that brought energy. I think they got to come with a little bit of something, man.
Yeah. Here's another thing. So we look at some of the things that happened in the game last weekend, and it ended up being a drumming. The Seahawks ended up drumming the Indianapolis Colts, who, again, are not a very good team. One of the bright spots for me on this Seahawks organization this season has been the emergence of Chris Carson. He has been amazing at the running back position. I think the Seahawks got another steal out of this kid as a late-round draft pick. To me, he was the Seahawks running game. And, of course, what happens? Breaks his leg.
Yeah,
breaks his leg at a point in the game where it was inconsequential. He shouldn't have been in the game. And was it a high ankle sprain? From what I heard, it was a broken bone.
Broke leg.
It was a broken bone in his leg, right? At first, they thought it was a high ankle sprain, and then it was found out there was a fracture in his leg. Same thing. He's hurt.
Right. Well,
my point is he's out for at least 8 weeks. We're going to have to rely on either Eddie Lacy, or Thomas Rawls, some combination of the above, to be an every down back.
Right.
So, I mean, we are obviously a better team when we have a proficient running game. So
Of course. I think that's with any team, T. If you got your running game, especially on the road, and you bring your defense and your special teams with you, that's exactly what you need on the road. But these Hawks, they don't have a choice, T, at this point. If they got to come up with a good game plan and they're going to put it together, they're going to make it work. I could see them leaning a little bit more on Russ, maybe with some read option and bringing that part of the run game to the Seahawks game plan this week. But I think this year, I've said it before, that the Seahawks defense has to be that stellar defense. All those Pro Bowl guys, they got to step up. They got to be exactly who they are. We got to get turnovers.
They scored 2 touchdowns
last week. True. And
but
they got to keep doing that, though.
Can they do that every week? Can you expect the defense to do that?
They got to be that team. Old school Ravens ball, man. You go out and play defense, and your offense just keep it together, man, and make it happen. But the defense got to go out and make it happen. And the special teams got to step up too, man. We need some spark from that, man. We need some big returns. We
have not had any big special teams plays this year. You're very right about that, True. We would have. I mean, in years past, the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of great activity out of your boy Lockett.
Right.
And we just have not seen that this year. I don't know what the problem is there, whether it's, he's still got some lingering issues with his injury that he had last year or what. Or if it's just a team effort, they've not placed a lot of focus on that. But you're right. There is a lot of yards to be made up in that special teams, man, and we just have not seen that this year. One big question that has been asked around the entire city of Seattle, around the Northwest, around the state, around the country, is what is going on with Jimmy Graham? Jimmy Graham is the $10 million man that has not been very effective this season or last season. And a lot of people are starting to question whether he is worth keeping on this squad. He's worth paying that money to, worth taking up a roster spot when you got a guy that, he what do you have? I think 4 catches. And he had a ball that went directly through his hands and Indianapolis intercepted it. And then his effort, people are starting to question his effort level. True. And again, you and I both don't like to, question a man who's out there making his money.
Right.
He has a job, and we don't.
I will never be that.
I don't want to be that dude.
Right.
When does it come time to say, hey, this has just been a bad experiment that went wrong, that we just need to cut ties and move on?
Man, it's tough, T. But I think with Jimmy Graham, it's like kind of like they say in church, man. He may not be there when you want him. But he's right on time. Jimmy Graham is still making some nice plays. He's still making some great catches. He's showing flashes of things that he can do. To, in all fairness, personally, I don't think he's 100%. But his athleticism at his position and the matchup problem that he presents, I think is still a good bullet to have in your gun as the Seahawks. To get rid of this guy and to do that kind of stuff, I don't like that type of talk. I think Jimmy Graham, if we get things right and do what we're supposed to do, I still think that things are a little uncomfortable. Or maybe we not just doing something right in the offensive plan or whatever to get him the ball. But I still think he's a baller, man. I like Jimmy on this team.
He's a baller. He's a big, strong physical presence, an athletic presence on the field for sure. But he hasn't been utilized. We don't throw the ball to him in the red zone where you would think you would take a 6'7" tight end who's bigger than everybody else is going to guard him, and you would throw him the ball in the red zone.
Right.
We just have not.
You think it's all his fault, though?
I don't say it's his fault. That's why I'm asking you. You're the pro.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I still like him on the team. I think we just gotta keep working at it, man, and keep at it. And eventually, I think it comes together. I know there's a time limit on everything, but I still think we keep working this thing, man.
Seattle, Seahawk fans, 12s around the world. I don't care if you like the Seahawks or you don't like them, if you've ever seen them play. Let me know what you think. Is it time for the Jimmy Graham experiment to be done? Or do we give him another shot just because he's that presence on the field that needs to be accounted for, and he has the potential to do great things? Let us know. 49451. Text us here at the station. True, I'm not done talking about these Seahawks, man. I still have a couple of questions that I have for you that I want to talk to you about. But in the meantime, we got to keep drinking some of this yak in honor of not just my birthday, but my man Shannon Sharp, who is my new hero, who spoke so eloquently.
I be on the miles with that yak hard yesterday, Skip.
Spoke so eloquently.
Celebration, baby.
About these miles and these yaks.
I be on the miles with that yak hard yesterday, Skip.
Tonight we are going to do it.
Miles and hen dog.
Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation about the Seahawks.
He would carry a knife, stab the snake,
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
I once got no allowance, now I got the crown. I said I was the boss, nobody made a sound.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show here on Sports Radio 950 KJR. It's your boy T. Holla and Marcus Trufant, hanging out here on a wonderful Wednesday night in Seattle, Washington. We'll be here till 8 o'clock hanging out, talking about all the stuff that they are hanging out in barbershops across the country, talking about sitting around the kitchen table, playing dominoes, smoking miles and drinking that yak. It's the Miles and Yak Barbershop. Happy birthday, T. Holla Extravaganza.
I be on the miles with that yak hard yesterday, Skip.
Shout out to Shannon Sharp for smoking a black and mild on live on TV.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real, keeping it 100. That's what we do here in the barbershop. At least we try to do our best to keep it 100, keep y'all entertained, and keep y'all informed as best we can. We were talking about these Seahawks before we went to break, man, and, we asked the people out there, True, what they think about this Jimmy Graham experiment. And I call it the experiment because I don't know if it's all the way panned out the way that most people had hoped it to. And so we shot the question out to the people out there and asked them what they thought about Jimmy Graham. And, you know, from the 206, they say trade Jimmy for an offensive lineman. We've heard that before.
Right.
And they definitely could use a lineman. From the 509, shout out to the Eastern Washington, Jimmy needs to be utilized more. Give him a chance and throw him the ball in the red zone. That's a no-brainer, right?
Right.
We've been saying that from the jump. We should do that.
But we just can't get it, though, for some reason. And I think that's the mystery, T.
Yeah, and somebody else had texted in and said maybe it's got to do with the play calling and the offensive coordinator, and we need to get rid of Bevel, which is always, that's what they always say.
That's always the topic, man. You got to ride with Bev through the good times and through the so-so times and the bad times because obviously he knows what he's doing because he was there when it was balling, so I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't know the answer. I just know that he's a physical presence that you have to account for. You know, being as tall as he is and as big as he is and as strong as he is and having the leaping ability that he has. They have to find a way to utilize him. It just makes no sense to have that in your arsenal and not use it. It's just so perplexing to me. We also talked about the running game. You know, we lost Chris Carson. He's going to be done for at least 8 weeks. He's going to be on the injury reserve list. And so I thought he was emerging as the best option for the Seattle Seahawks. Eddie Lacy, in my opinion, still has not proven that he is the back for the Seahawks at this point. He just hasn't performed. I'm not saying that he can't. I'm a glass half full guy, as my cup of Hennessy privilege yak is half full as I sip on it.
Good grapes.
I think he can, if the offensive line can get in order and can create some space for him. I think he could be pretty good. Some people from the text board are texting in, but what about Thomas Rawls? We're forgetting about him. I didn't forget about Thomas Rawls.
Right.
True. He just hasn't been on the field this season.
Right. And that's the thing about injuries, man. If you're injured and, I speak for Jimmy Graham or I speak of Jimmy Graham, I don't think he's 100%. It doesn't look like it to me. But, yeah, injuries will slow you down, definitely. It don't matter about the play calling. It doesn't matter about the offensive line. If you can't do exactly what you need to do and be yourself at that position, it's a tough position to succeed at.
Yeah. I just really want something to add. And, again, I want to say this, True. I think the offensive line played their best game this past weekend.
Okay.
And, they've been getting beat up all season. They've been getting beat up over the past couple of years about being the Achilles heel of this team. But I thought they played their best game last weekend. Reese Adiambu is going to be missing this weekend, and it's going to be a tough haul once again. But I think if they can pull it all together, they have all the weapons. They just have to pull it together. I'm not sure what's there. Again, I'm going to be glass half full on this and say they're going to find some magic and they're going to be able to pull it all together. True.
I'm going to put it on the defense, T. I'm a ride with those guys. I played with a lot of those guys, Sherm and Earl and Cam. And even the D-line, man, they got to come out and they got to take over, man. It's about domination. They got to get back to dominating, not just letting teams, kind of hang around and kind of do their thing. And then, all right, okay, it's going to come out the second half. We're going to take over. They got to come out and dominate, man.
Yeah.
And they're playing a good ball, but they got to dominate. And I think that's the difference.
I agree. And, True, you and I, again, we're always upbeat, always positive, always looking for the bright side that's going on out there with the Seattle Seahawks. But from time to time, you have to get a dissenting voice in your ear to kind of just, give you a real perspective so you don't have all the way good. Sometimes you need to have some criticism to right the ship. And, a couple of weeks ago, I introduced our listeners to a guy who hates the Seahawks. It doesn't matter what they do, how good they play. He's going to point out all the bad stuff that are on the Seattle Seahawks. And I don't want to say his real name because he has to live here. So we have crowned him with the name Hating Ass Harry. So Hating Ass Harry is going to be joining us here to give us an outside perspective of what he thinks is going on with the Seahawks. So with no further ado, I would like to introduce to y'all Hating Ass Harry. Hating Ass Harry. What's going on, Harry?
Yeah, hey, man, what's going on, man?
Wait, Harry. Hold on, man. Hold on, Harry. I'm sorry. I have to do the proper introduction.
Yeah. I love that song right there, man.
I know you do.
I'm a hating ass Harry.
Harry, tell me what you thought about the game. I know you watched a little bit of it this past weekend, man. What did you think about those Seahawks?
Oh, man, bro, like, let me tell you this, man. All I caught was Jimmy Graham flying into to the game in his boat plane. You know, I'm like, what is this about? You know, I mean, he's too busy flying his boat plane and not showing up on game day.
Wait.
I think he's related to D.B. Cooper because he disappeared on the offense.
Oh, man. Hey.
You think he's more concerned with flying planes than catching balls?
Hey, man, that's what it looked like to me. I mean, and to some of you fans, y'all know this. See, the thing is, man, y'all acting brand new. I don't understand that you guys, you know, have to talk good about the Seahawks and this and that, man. But let's keep shit 100. You know, he sucks, just like your offense. And I don't know why you guys gassing that offense up after playing the Colts. I mean, they're the 1-3 Colts. You know?
Yeah, but they're still in the National Football League.
I was just about to say that, man. They still in the National Football League, and you got to respect the opponent, and you got to respect the players. They may not be a good team together, but individually, it's still athletes out there. It's still guys out there at the top of their game. So, you know what I'm saying? I know it looks nasty, but the Hawks got a big win, though, bro.
A big win against who? The Colts?
A big.
Hey.
Every game is a new season.
I understand. Hey, I totally understand that. But it's just kind of funny that, you know, you guys don't talk about it, the losses that you guys take. You know, as far as like against Green Bay, you know, nobody posted Russell Wilson's stats on the internet or on Facebook or anything. But as soon as he had a good game against the Colts, man, everybody's posting his stats like Russell this, Russell that. They even got him back in the MVP race. And your team is 2-2.
Hey. So you trying to tell us you don't think Russell Wilson is good? He put up the numbers. He's good.
Man, Russell Wilson is a smurf, bro. He's like 5'10", man. He can't even see him with a damn line. I mean,
wait a minute.
Everything that he does is getting old. It's getting very old, man. All this running around, you know, scrambling, throwing stuff up in the air. That's not a real quarterback, man. Y'all know this. You played against real quarterbacks. You know damn well you had a field day against a Russell Wilson type quarterback. You know? Come on, man.
This is the thing, man. The game is changing and the game is, evolving. And I think it started with Mike Vick. And if you could get the combination of a guy that can throw and that could be elusive and that can buy time for receivers like Mike Vick did, and even playing against a guy like Mike Vick, you didn't even so much have to worry about the pass, so that was different. Russell Wilson brings both elements. So I give him props for that. So I totally disagree, Mr. Hating-ass Harry. Mr. Wilson just being a smurf, man. He comes with the best of both worlds, bro. And you can't argue with that. You can't ask for more as from a quarterback.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Trufant, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You know things are bad with the Seahawks when you got folks posting the video of Russell cussing on the field. You know what I'm saying? After a good play. That's ridiculous.
That's good for the squad.
That's ridiculous.
That is good for the team. That builds team morale. The team knows that he's a regular guy just like them, and he brought the fire.
And he got turned out by Sierra. That's all that was.
Oh, snap. Hey. What about the running back situation, Harry, man? We got, right now, Chris Carson is gone. It looks like we're going to have Eddie Lacy filling in. Do you think Eddie Lacy's going to have the stuff to carry the team on his back?
Man, that's stuff, man, what happened to Carson. You know, that's one thing I don't do. I don't hate on injury. So you guys lost a big part of the offense right there because he was just getting his groove and whatnot. And I think now you guys are what? Who do you guys have now that took his spot?
It looked like Eddie. They probably will play Eddie Lacy as the every down back, in my opinion. If Thomas Rawls is not available, Eddie Lacy.
Hey, bro, Thomas Ross hasn't been available all season. Who are you talking about? Like, I haven't seen him at all. But anyways, I don't see Eddie carrying the team, man. You know, I really don't. You know, especially when I saw him over at Sizzlers, you know, a couple of days ago.
Not
you
at
know,
Sizzler. Don't do him like that.
You know,
Don't do him like that.
Hey, Nas Harry, before I let you go, man, the Seahawks are heading down to Los Angeles. You know, it's one of their heated rivals in the NFC West, playing the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams are looking pretty good, man, but I got a feeling that the Seahawks can take the victory, man. Do you think the Seahawks got a shot going down there and pulling out a win in L.A.?
Ooh, boy. I don't see it, man. The Rams are hot right now. You know, they're very hot. Their offense, I don't see them stopping. What's his name? The Rams running back. What's his name?
Todd Gurley.
Yeah, Gurley. Yeah, I don't see them stop. I mean, look what what's his name did. The Frisco running back did
Carlos Hyde.
Yeah. Look what he did to the defense, man. The LOB is not the same, man, of 2 years ago. But I see the Rams beating the Seahawks by 17.
God, whoa.
Oh, man.
Hey, listen, Harry. We love to hear from you.
But if True Font throwing those fans again come out of retirement, hey, they might have a chance. Because the other old boy over on the other side getting toasted. He's getting toasted.
Hey, baby, he's a rook. I think he looked pretty good. He's standing up.
Come on, True Font. Hey, man, come on, man.
What do you want the guy to be? Everybody can't be Deion Sanders, bro. Everybody can't be Deion Sanders. I don't see him giving up a lot of big plays, and you can live with that. The bend but don't break, baby. Sometime as a rook, baby, you got to deal with that.
You can live with that? Hey. Can you live when Hines Ward scored on you, though, in the Super Bowl?
Oh, man. Take it back. Take it back.
The fire.
Oh, hell no.
All right, Harry, you got to see me after that. You got to see me, bro.
Hey, listen, we're going to check back with you next week, Hayden Has Harry, and see what happens. We'll discuss this and see what happened down in L.A. It's cool?
Hey, all right, that's cool, man. Hey, the Rams by 17 because the Seahawks are going to get rammed. They're going to get rammed by 17.
Hey, we're going to catch you next week, Hayden Has Harry. Appreciate you calling, man.
Appreciate it.
Hey, man. When we come back, though, we want to hear from you guys, your listeners. We want to get your questions. We're going to play Holla Holla with True and T Holla. It's where you can ask Marcus Trufant and myself any question you want. It doesn't matter if it's sports-related, current events, personal questions, weird, wild, and wacky. We're going to answer them for you right here in the Barbershop on Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Trufant Auto Detail is the right fit for anyone with a full schedule but appreciates a clean vehicle. Whether you're going to practice, going to close a deal, or just out on date night, a dirty car will only slow you down. Trufant Auto Detail was trusted by my hometown Seattle Seahawks to keep their cars in Pro Bowl shape. And you should too. Go ahead and book today at Trufant Auto Detail.
The Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
Nathaniel playing the cuts for my birthday Welcome back to the Barbershop Show with T Holla and True. Sports Radio 950 KJR. It's the birthday extravaganza. It's the Miles and Yak extravaganza. Marcus Trufant and I have been here all night with the Black and Mild cigars and the Hennessy Cognac, better known as a Yak.
I feel like we should debut that song one more time for everybody.
Please do. Let them know what's going on. We got the Shannon Sharp Miles and Yak remix brought to you only in the Barbershop. National debut right here tonight. Give him one more taste of it, Nathaniel.
I be on the miles with that Yak hard yesterday, Skip. I be on these miles of hen dog, and now y'all got problems with me. Let me celebrate. I be on the miles with that Yak. Miles with that Yak. Miles with that Yak. I'm on these miles and that hen dog. Miles with that Yak. 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 You talking crazy. You need to quit, Skip.
Hey.
You need to quit, Skip.
Hey.
You need to quit. Let me celebrate. You talking crazy. Skip. If a frog had pockets, he would carry a knife, stab the snake before it ate it. If a frog had pockets, he would carry a knife, stab the snake before it ate it.
Bars, son.
Hey,
Bars.
man, check game, though. Nathaniel, turn it down a little bit. I gotta just hit you with. Shannon Sharp, not only is he, once again, one of the most eloquent, well-spoken, articulate, well-versed people on television right now.
On his game, definitely.
On top of his game. But he got both sides. He talking about he want to drink some cognac and smoke these Black and Mild cigars, which we know is kind of gangster. If you smoking a Black and Mild and drinking yak, you probably, like I said, in a 1977 Cutlass or a Regal.
A Cutlass Supreme.
Supreme. You laid back. You have a do-rag on your head. If you OG, you might have a Bluetooth in your ear.
No. So what you say now, Chuck?
Hey, Chuck, I'm on the Bluetooths. Say it again. You know how it is, man.
Yeah.
We want to thank everybody for joining us here. We've been having a great night tonight, having a lot of fun. And we're going to finish it out by answering your questions. Whatever's on your mind, you can hit us up, 49451. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to know. We are playing Holla Holla with True and T Holla.
Holla, holla. Anybody that's ready to get dollars. Ladies know who to get them a little hotter. Come on, if you rollin' with me, follow.
Murder. Nathaniel.
Yes, sir.
What's up with you, man?
All I want to say real quick before we start this is if you have not seen the video for this Shannon Sharp Yak and Mild remix, it's worth a watch.
It is absolutely worth a watch. I'm going to put it on our Barbershop Twitter tonight. Go to Barbershop Show _ after the show is off, and I'm going to post the video for you.
It's something else. I was working this morning, and you showed me that, and I was laughing. I was
It's
dying.
perfection.
It is perfection. It is perfection.
All
What kind of questions we got?
So, speaking of your boy, Jimmy Graham, who doesn't seem to want to do anything for anyone except himself.
Easy.
That's my personal opinion. But, hey, given Jimmy Graham is a malcontent and doesn't want to be there, does Seattle try and move him before the trade deadline or wait till the end of the year and get a comp pick for him?
Man, that's the question. Here's the thing. Is he a malcontent? Does he not want to be here? I mean, maybe the way that he plays shows that he doesn't necessarily want to be here some of the time, but I don't know that he necessarily does not want to be here. In my opinion, it's tough to get rid of a guy like that with that type of talent and that type of skill, but how long do you draw it out? How long do you say, hey, this has not worked out in our favor? I don't know when the trade deadline is. I think it's sometime in the next week or so. I think we got to see if he shows and proves this weekend against LA. True.
I'll just say get him the ball. I'll say get him the ball and force it. The running game is going to be iffy because we're not going to have a Carson out there. I'm not going to be able to do what we did last game or what we've been trying to do these last couple games. So I think it's no better time but now to really force feed him the ball, especially in the red zone, and just get him in a bad matchup and really make it happen and just see what you got. I don't think we've tried hard enough to get it done.
Yeah, I guess so.
The only person with a worse try-hard factor than Jimmy Graham is Jay Cutler. I don't know if you've seen the video of Jay Cutler standing out there on that Wildcat.
But that's Jay Cutler, though.
Off the street, though, man. They brought Jay Cutler off the
street. You got to keep that in
didn't
mind. That's a quarterback who has less of a hard try-hard factor than a tight end.
All right.
I mean, come on. Anyways, so I got a question for I got a question for the both of you. Since both schools are playing great football, who wins this year's Apple Cup?
Oh, no question, the Huskies, baby. I don't even know why somebody would even bother to waste their text messages on that. I hope you got unlimited data if you sent that message because you wasted some data right there.
And you know what? And that's the thing that's the difference between the Coug and the Husky. You know, the Huskies come out, they're air again. They're city boys.
Yeah.
They over here.
We drinking that Hennessy privilege.
Right,
Yak.
but over there in the Cougs, man, we're humble, man. We're family because there's not much out there, man. We ride together and we make it happen. So it's definitely going to be a Cougar win, and we're going to shock these Huskies that always think they're better than us, as people, as players, everything. So, they look down upon the Cougs. So we're going to rise up and make it happen.
Yeah, so they say. Hey, we got time for one more quick question, man. What you got back there, Nathaniel?
What is the greatest life lesson you learned while playing sports? And how do you teach that lesson to young people both on and off the field?
Wow. That's deep, man.
Yeah.
I would say just the ability to get along with different people that think differently than you, that have, come from different backgrounds than you. Being a football player at a place like University of Washington, you got people from all kind of backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
You got guys that come from Hawaii. You got guys that come from the backwoods of like Washington, Cedro Woolley, Port Orchard. And then you have guys that come from like Compton and Oakland.
Right.
And so you got a bunch of different attitudes and people together, and everybody has to get along and work towards one different cause. So I would say I learned how to get along with different people of different backgrounds in a major way, and I think that goes a long way once you're done playing football.
Right. Well, what I learned early on is you got to treat the imposters the same, and that's great success and even the failures, because in football there's always another game, there's always a next play. So you don't want to get too high, you don't want to get too low. I know it sounds cliche, but that's life. You can't celebrate for too long, or you're going to miss the next thing that's coming, and you can't be too down, or you're not going to be able to enjoy and be able to move on and be ready for that next victory. So, yeah, you got to treat both imposters the same. I stole that from Chris Richard, too.
That's what you got to do sometimes. Yeah, that's what you do, right? You got to steal a little bit. That's another lesson you learn, how to steal and make it your own. Hey, listen, you cannot celebrate too long, but I'm going to celebrate for the rest of the night with these Miles and this Yak, because it's my birthday, and we celebrating Miles and Yak Day. Hey, thank you guys for hanging out with us for a while here in the barbershop. We're going to catch you next Wednesday. We're going to be talking about more crazy stuff, so make sure you're here.